I'm Emma.
I'm Bennett.
And welcome to Apocalypse Chow.
So Emma, what are we going to be making today?
Well, Bennett, today we are going to be making a cheesy, tomatoey, white bean pasta bake.
Wow, that sounds delicious. So we are sort of making the show and cooking these dishes in this time of quarantine, social distancing, coronavirus protocols.
We are supposed to be going to the grocery store as little as possible, as you know. So it's important to stock up on dried goods, beans, canned tomatoes. Cheese takes a while to go bad, employing spices, dried herbs, things like that can last a while in your pantry.
Wonderful.
First thing we're gonna do, preheat the oven.
Amazing.
Okay, we're gonna go to 425 degrees. And then we are going to turn our water on to boil. The lid on helps it go faster.
Set it to the highest setting and wait for the bubbles.
Wait
is
for
what
the
I
bubbles.
have heard.
Exactly, and don't watch the pot, because a watched pot never boils.
I actually find it very difficult not to watch the pot. I do have a little bit of a strategy that I use, and I know that some of you may have the same difficulty. You just have to actively not look at the pot. Use the blinders, your psychic blinders. Literally do this until the pot boils if you have nothing better to do and no other prep.
However, we do have other prep. Onion. Garlic. Pull off 4 cloves.
Okay.
You're gonna be smashing these, just and then pulling the skins off. I am going to be dicing this onion.
And sometimes this is boring to do. If you want to whistle a little bit, that's allowed.
I think this is actually a really good opportunity to get a lot of anger out. We're going to turn to our cast iron, where we are going to build the entirety of the dish. And this is great because it can go on the stove and then it can go into the oven. So you have to make sure you're using something that can be on the stove and then can transfer to the oven. Add in a couple of tablespoons of olive oil.
Okay.
Let that get hot. Add these onions into the oil.
So you want to make sure you do this in an orderly fashion. It's kind of like customs at the airport. You can't just let everybody through at the same time.
And you just want to distribute those onions evenly over the flame. You don't want to play with them too much while they are browning and caramelizing.
So one of the nice things here about these onions that we've diced is now that they're in the pot, they're completely subject to your whim. And so in these times of quarantine, coronavirus, you feel so out of control, the one thing you can control is how to distribute these little onions of which you are their master.
All right, so nice even layer and then stop stirring.
How do I know when to stop here?
You're done.
Oh, wow.
You want like a nice medium high. The goal is to get a little bit of browning on them, which again, we're gonna do by not disturbing them too much. So once you have them in a nice even layer, no touchy. We are also going to add some chili flake, like about a teaspoon or so. You can do more if you want. You can also kind of eyeball it.
And so this is where we get a little bit exciting.
Yes. We're also, do this right now actually, gonna add some salt to the onions.
Okay.
You have to think about it like seasoning each layer as you go. Tomato puree, 2 cans of butter beans, and our pasta. Any small shape of pasta will work. Also, could be basically any white canned beans. So I love butter beans, I think they're delicious.
Now I love butter and I love beans. This should mean I would like butter beans.
It definitely will mean you like butter beans.
So I am now excited for the butter beans in a way I wasn't before.
And then tomato puree is what we're using, which is literally because it's all they had at the grocery store. I usually like whole peeled tomatoes. If you have those, that's great. If you have diced, that's fine. If you have the puree, that's fine. The point is, when you add it in, you're trying to get to like a tomato saucy kind of consistency.
I'm just gonna add here that at this point, the onions are smelling very good.
And in fact, they need a stir.
Okay.
You can see that they are starting to brown a little bit.
They are, yeah, and some of them are getting a little crispy.
Okay, I'm collecting all the garlic. Go straight into here. Bennett, you wanna grab the wooden spoon and give this a nice stir. As you're stirring, I'm gonna add in this chili flake that we measured out.
Ouch.
Now I am adding some black pepper. Spread that out just as you did earlier when it was just onion in there. Give it a bang so that the stuff comes off the spoon. Exactly, and we're gonna let that go for just a minute or 2. That's all that it takes. You can stop banging now.
Okay, great, thank you. Woo! I noticed you did for this use a whole can.
I did use a whole, this is a 28-ounce can. You can give it a stir now that the sauce is in there.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna add a little bit more salt as you are doing that. Actually gonna turn it up a tiny bit. We're sort of at like a medium heat right now. This is gonna go for about like 25 minutes or so until it is sort of more concentrated. So Bennett, give it a stir now.
Okay.
I'm gonna just turn the heat down a little bit because we don't want it to burn, which you know, use your senses. You can tell if it's starting to get dark, it's starting to stick to the bottom.
I'm kind of making it talk in a way.
Exactly. We are going to do some more prep work,
Okay.
which in this case means grating cheese.
Now, sometimes your grater, in this case here, it might be like this. It looks a little bit like a weird office building.
That's 7 ounces of a sharp cheddar.
It feels about as heavy as a baseball for those of you out there who are baseball fans, MLB, RIP. I really can't articulate in ways that do it justice how serene it is to grate this cheese.
I'm gonna go ahead and taste this. I'm waiting for it to cool a little bit. I'll wash my hand.
It's like, is this what they mean by self-actualization?
It's picking up the onion, it's picking up the garlic. I think it needs a little bit more time to sort of concentrate all those flavors. I am going to drain these 2 cans of butter beans. I'm just gonna give them a quick rinse to get rid of any of that bean goop. We're gonna like pull this out.
Look at all those people in the
Beautiful amount of cheese. We're gonna do maybe about half this amount. The last thing we're gonna do as the sauce is finishing up is we're gonna cook about half of this pasta.
Whenever you have to open something like this, really relish it. If you can't go outside, if you can't be with friends, you can't be with family, make sure that whenever you open something when you cook, it's like opening a little bit of a Christmas present. And if you want to go crazy, you want to pre-wrap, you want to actually put some sort of Christmas wrapping on it, that isn't insane to do at all.
And take the lid off. 2 big pinches of salt.
Yeah, I would almost call that like a grab.
We call it the 3-finger pinch. Follow the directions on whichever pasta you buy, and you want to cook it about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes shy of what it says for al dente, and that's because this is gonna go into our 425-degree oven that has been preheating this whole time, and it'll finish cooking in there. Bennett, I don't have time for this right now.
What? Oh, okay, hi.
So this is hugely important because we are going to be saving a pretty full thing of this, which is 2 cups. You can see on the other side. 2 cups of the pasta water.
And then for those of you who are metric freaks, 500 milliliters is the same as 2 cups. And our cup says that. This is an international measuring cup.
Bennett, all measuring cups say that.
Oh, news to me.
Want to get the pasta water. That's like a healthy 2 cups right there. We're gonna drain this.
Wow, look at it go.
Woo! Now we are going to build our cheesy, tomatoey white bean pasta bake. Beans go in.
Woo!
That's great. Bennett, grab the pasta. As I'm going, I'm also gonna be adding bits of pasta water. Pasta goes in.
Okay. Bop, 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 bop.
Look at that thing. And again, just kind of loosening this up. And we're gonna turn this off. Will you please grab a big handful of cheddar
Sure.
and a big handful of parm?
I have a pretty unobstructed pathway, so this is sort of like an LA highway right now. Absolutely deserted here, and very easy for me to get right here. Now that's the cheddar.
That's the cheddar. Keep it there.
That's the parm.
That's the parm. Eyeballing is okay. We're just gonna leave a certain amount
For the top.
for the top. Getting it nice and coated. Fish bean. Fish pasta. Needs more salt. Gonna stir that in. Okay.
So-
Bennett, ready for you. The rest of this, but like an even distribution. Make sure you get around the edges too, not just in the middle. Last but not least, we're gonna add a little bit of more of the crushed red pepper.
Woo!
Because we like it spicy. For fun, I'm pulling out a little bit of dried herbs. You have some
Okay.
if you want it. All right, Bennett, will you open the oven for me?
I sure will.
This is gonna go in for about 20 minutes. We're gonna just keep an eye on it. The cheese is melted, but not bubbly and browned.
Okay, great.
So here we go with the broil. very good thing to watch is the broiler because it can go from crispy, melted, bubbling to burnt very quickly. You'll start to see it's gonna bubble more and more.
Yes, I see it bubbling.
Should only take a couple minutes. Do some squats because we're stuck at home and we can't exercise.
Right. Yes, okay.
So this is actually really good. Another minute or so.
Great. Okay.
You may think it's a little obsessive to watch this, but I've burnt a lot of things in the broiler, and so we should be
This is
extra careful.
a little bit like watching lava, except that you're excited to eat it and okay to kind of be near it in the way that we are.
You can see the edges definitely getting really
Yes.
dark. I think we're there. We are going to turn the broiler off. Carve a nice piece.
Wow.
It does taste like a pizza, kind of.
And that has everything to do with the melted cheese, has everything to do with the broiling.
Cheddar's nice because it gives it's like a little sharpness to it as well. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Apocalypse Chow.
Tune in next time, we're gonna get through this together.
Bennett, it's been great cooking with you.
Yep. Haha. Great.
Catch you next time.
Catch you next time. Bye. Yeah. Not going out there anytime soon.